Hello, everybody, and welcome to our virtual work webinar series, part 2, working together when you're apart. We're going to focus on how we can work more effectively with those in this virtual environment. Now, in addition to there being a lot of unknowns, there's also a lot of pressure going on right now. In my informal conversations with folks, it seems about 90% of people I've talked to are said they're doing even more work than they were before. Due to the changes in working from home, due to the changes in their business, about 10% are like, I don't really have much to do. But most people feel really pressured. And it isn't like there's a relief in terms of the emails that we're getting or the meetings that we're on. It's just kind of a different form and format. Well, when you put all that together, an unknown road, a lot of pressure going on, tons and tons of work, and everyone working remotely, it can create a tough situation. And not everybody's getting along as well as they could be or should be. And that's what today's all about. I call this, can't we all just get along? Well, we can, but it might be a little harder than you think. Pressure and change, as I just said, are magnified, and these times are really tough. It takes a little bit of extra effort to build a relationship. What might have been handled with a quick conversation by popping over to somebody's office now has to be handled offline or online, if you will. It can't be done in person. So we can get along, but what I'm going to suggest, what I'm going to propose, as radical as this may sound, is that we may want to forget the golden rule when it comes to working effectively with others. What? The golden rule? Do you remember? Do unto others as you would have done unto you. Maybe a great rule to live by, but perhaps not the best way when it comes to working in teams, particularly when we are dealing with some of this remote work. So I would imagine you're all pretty intrigued. We're going to talk a lot today about how you can adapt your style, and whether that's via email, whether that's in virtual team meetings, and whether that's just in day-to-day interactions that you have in this sort of remote environment that we're in. We're going to talk about all those different types of ways to adjust your style, to recognize others, and to be as effective as you can. And here's how we're going to do it. Here's our agenda for today. We're going to talk about 3 things. The first thing we do is we're going to figure out which one of 4 communication styles you most closely associate with. So I'm going to have to take a little mini test. Don't worry, you didn't need to study. Then we're going to talk about how you can identify others. So by the end of this webinar, my goal is you walk out of here knowing what style you are, but also knowing what style your boss is, knowing what style the coworkers that work most closely with you are, and the people that you're dealing with on a pretty regular basis. You should be identify them. And then we're going to talk about how you can apply it daily.